Friends, I have really sad news. I've completely run out of popcorn because this month has been so entertaining in the world of scam busting that I don't know what to do with myself anymore. So I just want to tell you about a few of the things that have happened recently. You're probably already familiar with the downfall of crypto exchange FTX and its former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, aka SBF. I talked a little bit about him last week in regards to how his core philosophies contributed to his fraudulent activities, but I didn't talk a lot about what he actually did. It appears that he was knowingly running something like a Ponzi scheme that collapsed, leaving millions of people without billions of dollars that they thought was safe in his exchange. It's been a little frustrating over the past month since that collapse, as SBF has been wandering around giving these like all shucks interviews to various outlets. Because it's like, why has this guy not been arrested yet? What is going on? Well, it turns out that the FTC, SEC, and Justice Department were just patiently building their case against him, but hiding it from both the public and SPF. And they did that so well that in at least one interview recently, he said he didn't think he was even at risk of being arrested. And apparently he was so relaxed that it appears that he straight up admitted to fraud in another interview. So he's probably going to be spending a significant amount of time in prison soon, which is fun. It's good. That apparent admission of fraud happened thanks to the YouTuber CoffeeZilla, who has been covering this whole thing very well. Like, I know next to nothing about the intricacies of the financial world. And CoffeeZilla has done an amazing job of explaining it all to idiots like me while holding SBF's feet to the fire. It doesn't have much to do with anything really, but I need to share the funniest thing I heard in CoffeeZilla's videos. It was this exchange with investor Mark Cohodes.
Nothing this guy said has ever made a lick of sense. And if he would have come to my office looking for money, I would have told him to hit the bricks because nothing added. I mean, they didn't even figure out that his accountant's address was somewhere in the metaverse. I mean, at a minimum, you check out who the guy's auditor is and say, who's your auditor? Oh, my auditor's name is the Pep Boy, Manny, Mo, and Jack. Okay, what's his address? Somewhere in the metaverse. Is this a joke? No, I'm being serious.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely that can't be true that the auditor of FTX was located in the metaverse. But checking their official bankruptcy filings, that is the case. And now, because no one looked into it, FTX owes $3.1 billion to its top 50 creditors alone. And I guess if they have complaints, they can go to the metaverse and ask about it.
So that's great. On to another scam artist who you might be less familiar with. Back in 2019, I made this video about a get-rich-quick guru who was threatening a YouTuber with lawsuits in order to censor criticism. I said at the time that YouTuber was called Coffee Break, because back then I had no idea who he was, but Coffee Break was actually the secondary channel of CoffeeZilla. Yeah, the same guy that I've been watching over the past few months destroy SBF. What a small world. And back then he was like a tiny streamer with a fraction of my audience. And now he has like 100 times more subscribers than me. But it's well deserved. He puts out great content. I highly recommend that you subscribe to him if you don't already. So the scammer in question was this guy named Kevin David, who was apparently making millions of dollars telling people that he could teach them to make millions of dollars on Amazon. CoffeeZilla originally just called him out mostly for plagiarizing from other gurus, but when David filed a DMCA takedown on Coffee's channel, he came to the attention of people like me who were happy to add the opinion that it looked like David was orchestrating a big old scam. In fact, in my 2019 video, I pointed out that the FTC had just won a case against a company called Amazing Wealth Systems, who were fined $102 million for running a scam that looked remarkably similar to what Kevin David was doing. And with that in mind, I encouraged my viewers to visit ftc.gov/complaint and, I don't know, just let the FTC know if they knew of any other people that they might want to look into, you know, any other financial gurus with too boring names for a name. Well, it appears that someone at the FTC really was interested in Kevin David because they launched a lawsuit against him that was just decided last month, finding that David and his business partner ripped off consumers by manipulating reviews and making empty promises of big returns on cryptocurrency investment schemes and bogus business programs, said Samuel Levine, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. They ignored warnings that these practices were illegal, and now they are paying the price. And what is that price? I'm so glad you asked. The total judgment was for $53 million. But David claims he doesn't have that much money right now, so he only needs to pay back the customers he defrauded $2.6 million. If the court finds out that they are lying about their assets, they will need to pay more up to that full amount. Hilariously, David expanded his scamming into the crypto world because, of course, he did. So there's a chance that he's actually hiding some of his money in crypto, which means there's also a chance that he's already lost it all anyway, thanks to Sam Bankman-Fried, a thought that I will think about every day or so when I need a little pick-me-up. It's a little sad that unlike SBF, there's not going to be prison time in David's near future, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of American prisons, but in these white-collar crime cases, time and time again, we see these criminals take loads and loads of money from people and then basically pay a fraction of that as a fine. And then they're set free to just come up with a slightly different scam to bilk more people. Like back in 2016, the FTC fined Joseph Mercola $5.3 million for selling tanning beds that he claimed could treat cancer. And since then, he's written several books and probably made millions more shilling quack alternative medicine and anti-vaccine nonsense. So I guess we just have to wait and see what Kevin David pivots to next. My prediction, not a real job.